And we're back. And D-Nasty, would you like to tell us what we just heard?
Yeah, so we heard some knucklehead named D-Nasty the Master with some song called The Nastiest, and I'm still waiting for my royalties, B.
And also Long Nights by Jux Diamond.
Yeah.
And shout out to Blunt Discussion. Yes, it's my new podcast that I'm starting. I started. You can listen to us at www.bluntdiscussion.com. It's really been fun putting that together. You learn a lot. Certainly, as you know, Blunt Discussion and OnPoint Experience. And what you're about to hear, Single Mom Chronicles, is part of Say Yes Productions. And Say Yes Productions, like we all do, it's a creation of many, many forms of media outlets. We specialize in creating, producing, and marketing multiples of outlets that we all appreciate every day. So stay tuned for what's up next for Say Yes Productions.
And if you haven't seen the Blunt Discussion piece that she has out there, check it out. I enjoyed it. It's well done.
Did you really enjoy it?
Yeah, I did. You were in the whip, you know, you doing your thing. Then you interviewing people like you like
commercial.
Yeah, I was like, yeah.
Blunt Discussion rolling up to a podcast near you.
Oh boy, it's actually started. Could you stop with the you're gonna come on, so don't worry. But it's really helping us understand what this is about. It's not focusing really on reefer madness of people smoking. It's right. You know, it's really focused on understanding the legislation around it, why we should learn more about it and be a part about it, and learning just, you know, growing as the next generation of working with folks and working with this. I mean, a friend of mine came on the show and she said one generation was part of putting bottle caps on bottles, and this generation will be a part of understanding, putting together the different components of marijuana. So, hey. So, Single Mom Chronicles, which has nothing to do with
what
marijuana.
A
segue. Nothing.
Single moms
but hey, single moms, if you need a way to balance. But this is not promoting marijuana use anyway. So, Single Mom Chronicles, I really wanted to just talk a little bit about how to balance your work life, your life, and play. It's really a balancing act. Many people ask me, well, how do you do it? How do you have time? And I won't go over all the different roles of any hats that I play, but I listen sometimes to people, they talk about how busy they are. And I mean, you know, it's right. She's laughing already. It's relative how people are busy, but I listen to how people are busy, and they have their own things that they're busy at doing, and they have challenges in finding ways to squeeze. And I want to say that I don't think I've mastered it, but when I listen to how busy people are and they're doing like some of the things that I'm doing, I say, well, maybe I need to sit down and talk to you, because if I can find time to do this, then you need to find some time to make time for yourself. So the aspect of talking about this is just to give you a quick scenario. We're switching it up. Usually I have a longer one, but as we said, this show is going to switch it up a little. We're giving husband tips later on in the show, a longer piece. And my piece is just going to be a little small tenor piecer, right? So I think the main thing is to first identify all the hats that you have. Sometimes you are a parent. Sometimes you have an entrepreneur. Sometimes you actually are an employee. Sometimes you are dealing with non-for-profits. You know, sometimes you are dealing in your local community activism, and then sometimes you even have a life, right? You even have a man or a woman, you know, and you have you are a parent. You might be a parent too. So all those things have to have their own time to it. And those things are needed to be dedicated for its own right to be successful. So I would just give a couple of pointers, and certainly for the folks that are in here that have to balance their life, whether you're a parent or not, you can certainly opine. The one thing is being able to communicate effectively. And I think a lot of these things I kind of took from people around me in my life. Curtis does this thing where at a certain time of his life, of his day. Like every minute is important, and that's how you have to look at it. Every minute of the day of your life is important, and how you use it, you have to use it wisely. And so when you sit there and you watch Unsung for 2 hours, that's 2 hours of your life that may have been gone away, but you decided to use that time wisely. And so being able to communicate about what you will and will not do, how will you use your time to other people so they can respect your hours are critical. So if you say, listen, from the hours of 7 to 8, I'm off the phone, I'm off the internet, I'm off social media, I'm not responding to your texts, it's not personal, but this is what I'm doing to take control of my life. So communicating to other people about what you're doing is critical so people don't feel like, you know, you're ignoring them. And then when you're telling people what you're doing, it's their place to respect your time. Now, if you tell them what you're doing, they still say, yeah, whatever, but I'm calling anyway. I mean, I have nothing to do with that, right? The next item is, I would say, being able to say no. Many a times we want to say yes to everything. We feel that we can do everything, and we are not able to say no. And I think the best way to do this exercise of saying no is to outline all the different things that you're doing and trying to figure out, do you really have the time? Asking what the expectations are of a new project, right? What is needed from you? What is, what's the timeline? How long are you expected to do it? And then you're able to make a good decision of what you can and cannot do. And if you really believe you can't, it's okay to say no. People respect you more if you say no to something than if you say yes and come in halfway.
Word.
That is the worst thing, to do something halfway. If you're going to do it all the way. If you're not, don't just do it just to be a part of the team or be a part of the group. The other thing that I think was important is you have to stop fighting the guilt. As a parent, sometimes we get caught up in, you know, you did not go to that publishing party at school, or you did not make that basketball game, or, I mean, it depends on what your priorities are, or you did not go to that going away party for your homeboy or your homegirl, or you did not go to the tenant association meeting or the resident block association meeting when they look at you when you walk down the block every time you miss it. But you got to stop feeling bad for things. You can't do everything. And I know you made the face, right? So being able to not feel guilty and just be like, yo, I can't do it. And just keep it moving. And I get you on the other end, you know. But like there'll always be other things happening. You can't do everything. Like today, I had to make a business decision about something that I couldn't do. But, you know, you can't do everything, you know. And the last thing is, again, back to that, is you got to protect your time. Because your time is your most important asset. And if you don't protect your time, nobody else is thinking about your time but you. Everyone else will try to make sure that you do everything for them, make sure that their stuff is great, but they won't put the time in for your stuff. And that's okay, because they're putting time for their stuff, and you have to do it for yourself. So, I mean, those are the, I guess, the top 4 or 5 things, whatever, that I find myself doing. And certainly if folks are here, you can opine in that.
Hey, good section. Number one, we give it up for the section.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You know what, guys?
Awesome.
For my partner, Ray, we were having, you know, being in a tenant association, we were having an issue with one of the tenants. And I said, well, this woman is wearing a lot of hats. And he's like, well, how many hats do you think she's wearing? And I said, immediately 11. Because to me, every woman is wearing at least 11 hats. And so he had me outline you just only named 5. And I'm like, oh, you're missing this one.
Talking about me?
Yeah.
Oh.
I said,
no, I was giving an example.
Right. But I really believe that women are wearing 11 hats on a day-to-day level. Employer, mother, sister, brother, you know, I mean, caretaker, aunt, niece. I mean, depending on your family network, entrepreneur, educator, cook, chef, housekeeper. I mean, it's a lot of hats. So yes, I mean, I think that you're spot on about protecting your time, because it takes a lot of time to be 11 people at once. How many hats do you wear, Millie?
Well, to piggyback off what you said, I completely agree. You should be able to say no.
Yes.
You should definitely be able to say no. And not feel guilty. Like on Sundays when I want to just watch Netflix, I'm just going to embrace it, and I'm not going to feel guilty. But I know Monday comes, I'm going to be back on my grind.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
So I try my best not to feel guilty. And to tell my children sometimes no as well. Like they want me to do this and do that. Mom, let's go do this. Let's go. No. Just let me breathe and have my self time. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You know, allowing even your children to step away from you and just let you have that time on your own. But I feel like I wear many hats. So when you say that you look on my social media and you always see me out, like I kind of feel it's part of my responsibility to see my dad who's in Queens, to spend time with my mom, to spend time with my other families, to spend time with my other friends who are entrepreneurs, just so I can feed my soul as well. So I kind of feel like all that, it's part of me, and it's part of my growth, and it's part of keeping me sane. Yeah.
This will make Yaz laugh. The other day, I'm at a meeting, and Jackie Rowe Adams said, and he had the nerve to tell me he's busy. Busy? I'm busy. Can nobody be more busier than me, Kurt?
That's what's hilarious. Yeah.
That's what I tell me I'm busy.
But busy people make time.
Yeah, definitely.
Busy people
Definitely.
Because they're able to multitask.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. I know, and catching busy people, there's an art of working with busy people.
Yeah, it's true.
It's true, because I correct myself for my busy friends.
Right.
Like Jackie Rowe Adams, I know that sometimes I had to be at a certain place at a certain time where I know she's going to be at, and I have her for 3 minutes.
Right.
And so we have to
kind of
support
go with it, right?
Yeah, you have to support your friends also, respect their time,
Right.
And
Yeah, my favorite was Redman. I saw a Redman once in the street, and this dude rolled up to him. Yo, man, can I talk to you? Yo, man, we got to walk and talk, though. We got to walk and talk.
Right.
I just can't sit here and chop it up with you. I got things to do.
Right.
And I was like, I like that. And he was briskly
yes.
dapped him up, kept it moving.
That you just had to mention that you were walking and talking with Redman, huh?
No. I have ocular proof it happened. I saw it. Even though I have met Redman several times.
Well, I want to just say thank you so much. This was Single Mom Chronicles.
Single man.
Single man.
Get him in trouble.
Single Mom Chronicles. And again, balancing is very important, but most importantly, enjoy what you do. Because if you enjoy what you do, all of it is fun. And there it doesn't seem like you're balancing it. I do a lot of stuff. It's a labor of love. I appreciate it. But Sunday is my day. I pick a day where I do not like to dress up, to go out, even though politics make you do it sometimes. But Sunday is my day, and Friday after 3 is my time.
Stay tuned for Yaz's new show, Single Mom Chronicles.
Wow. We take a time. We will be right back.
Pass it.
That was a good one.
OnPoint Radio.